How do you search for existing patents before you file your own? This is one of the things that every inventor should do, and it's completely free. Today, I'm going to walk you through the whole thing, step by step. You can do a basic patent search yourself using Google Patents. Free to search this patent database, and it takes about 20 minutes once you know what you're looking for. This is a really useful first step and a filter to see if the invention you're working on is patentable. You're checking to see if there are any obvious prior art references, meaning patent documents in your space, before you invest a significant amount of time or money in pursuing a patent. And honestly, this one step can save you thousands of dollars if it turns out that the space is crowded. If you can turn up an obvious prior art conflict within 20 minutes of searching, that'll save you years of having to wait for the patent office to find it after you filed your patent application. So let's jump in and get started. So first, you'll go to patents.google.com. I like to start here because most people already intuitively understand how to run a Google search. It searches millions of patents worldwide, and you don't need an account to use it. So step one, you need to think about your keywords carefully. You don't want to search for a product or a company name. Patents describe technical solutions, so you want to search for what your invention actually does. Start by breaking down your invention into its core components and functions. Identify the elements by their technical terms and features that describe your invention. Include synonyms, related concepts, and variations in the terminology, since different patent documents use different phrasing. Let's say that you've built an app that helps restaurants manage reservations using AI. Don't search for restaurant reservation app. Instead, try something like automated restaurant table allocation using machine learning, or dynamic reservation scheduling system. The question you ask yourself is, what's the technical problem my product solves, and what's the method it uses to solve it? That's your search query. And try a few different variations. Different keywords can give you very different results. I'd run at least 3 or 4 different search variations using slightly different phrasing. All right, so let's take a look at our hypothetical invention here. So here we have our hypothetical invention. It's a smart insulated beverage container with an embedded temperature sensor and a Bluetooth connected band that changes colors to visually indicate when the beverage is cooled or heated to the user's preferred drinking temperature. The lid also emits a soft audible chime. The user sets their target temperature via a companion smartphone app. So this is our hypothetical invention. I've broken down here some core concept terms. So we've got kind of high-level terms that describe it. So you've got a smart mug, temperature indicating beverage container, insulated container temperature sensor, heated mug alert. Then you've got some kind of component level terms here that go into a little bit more detail. And then down here, you've got some more functional and method terms. So it's kind of different from a high level and more specific search terms. So it gives you some variation in your searching to see what results you can find. So we'll start here at kind of the top, and we'll take these and plug them in. So step 2, now that you have some results, we'll quickly scan through them. For this step, you're not reading the full patents yet. You're mainly looking at the titles and the abstract. Those are the short summaries at the top of each patent. You're looking for anything that describes a similar approach to what you're building. If a title sounds related, click into it and read the abstract. If the abstract is clearly about something different, skip it and move on. You're going for breadth right now, not depth. You'll gather a list of references that look relevant before we take a deep dive into them. So here for our first search term, we got smart mug. We'll just read through the titles, and you can look at the snippet for the abstract just to kind of get a rough idea of what these are about. So we'll kind of scan through them quickly. This one looks like maybe it could be relevant. We'll open this one. This one too, we'll take a look at. And then we'll kind of go down our list and we'll plug in our next search term, and we'll just kind of take a quick look at the titles. So we'll kind of open this one. We'll kind of go down our list of search terms. I think we already got that one. None of these really look relevant, so we'll just kind of keep going here. We'll open this one to be a related one, so we'll take a look at that. These look a little bit more promising. So after opening this one, this is one that kind of looks like maybe it's not super relevant. It's got maybe some similarities, but probably not terribly close. So might be one that we not look at too closely. This might have some some useful information here, so we'll keep that one too. So then we'll just kind of go down our list to our next search terms down here. Some of these overlap, so some of these terms that I'm pulling have shown up in multiple searches. I think we already looked at this one though. I think there was some elements that overlap, but there were a fair bit of differences too. So for step 3, this is where you'll evaluate your short list of references that you've gathered. You'll go through your list of patent documents and scroll to the section called claims. The claims are what defines the legal boundaries of what the patent covers. Claim 1 is always the broadest claim, so read that one. You're looking for features that overlap with your invention. And here's something to consider when you're doing your patent search. Patents are narrow in scope. Let's say you find a patent for scheduling meetings using AI, for example, and that's something that's similar to what you're working on. That doesn't automatically block you from patenting your specific method for solving that same technical problem. It just means that you need to be clear about what makes your approach different than the approaches that have already been done before. So if you find something similar, that's not necessarily a bad thing. In fact, it's usually an indication that there are patentable inventions in the space that you're working in. All inventions have some amount of prior art, so just because you find similar references doesn't mean that your improved version isn't patentable. So if you go through our short list here on Google Patents, the claim section is right here. Usually if you open the actual patent document itself, which you can do, the claim section is usually all the way at the bottom. So you skip all the way past the drawings to the written portion. It's all the way, this is an extremely long patent, but the claim section is all the way at the bottom. It starts what is claimed or some variation of that language. And then it has numbers 1, 2, 3, in this case up to 9, so 9 patent claims. So claim 1 is where you want to focus. It's the broadest claim. It's the broadest independent claim is typically claim 1, and so that's really where you want to focus your attention. The other claims could be dependent claims, which are by definition more narrow in scope. So, but if you're looking at just this view, you can scroll right here, and it's the claim section. It says there's 9 claims. So claim number 1 right here is the one we're looking at. So you can read through this. It says an actively heated or cooled cup, mug, travel mug, baby bottle, beer. So a lot of different liquid containers that it could be. And then it says comprising. So this is what's called the preamble. So this is kind of the title of the invention. And then everything that comes after comprising, it'll have a list of, and it has, for example, it says a portable body, a heating and cooling system. These are the elements. And so patent claims are broken into elements. So when you're looking at these, you've got a list of, you could treat these as, A, B, C, and you will want to go through those and match them up to what your invention is and compare what's similar and what's different. So you'll go through each of your references on your short list, and you'll read through the claim 1, the broadest independent claim, and find the elements and match them to your invention to figure out what's the same and what's different about them. So in step 4, you'll document what you found. You'll write down what patents you saw, how they're similar to your idea, and most importantly, how they're different. This is helpful because if you decide to file a patent application later, you can write stronger claims because you know what's already out there. If you'd like some additional support while you do your patent search, I created a comprehensive guide that goes into more detail on specific search techniques and strategies. It's free. You can grab a copy at the link in the description. And one thing I want to mention before you go run your first patent search. A quick search like this is a good starting point, but even the most comprehensive search isn't going to uncover every single possible patent reference. In fact, there are prior art references that aren't even published yet. So no matter how long you spend searching, you're never going to find them. So doing a prior art search like this isn't about finding every single possible patent reference. It's about gathering information so that you can make an informed decision about your invention. More often than not, a prior art search is about the scope of what kind of patent you can get, not whether or not you can get a patent at all. The search shows you where the opportunity is. So a quick recap on patent searching. Go to Google Patents, search for the problem that your invention solves, scan the results, read claim 1, and write down what you find. In 20 minutes of searching without spending any money, you can have a much clearer picture of where your invention falls within the scope of the prior art. If you ran a search and you found something that looks kind of close and you're not sure what that means, feel free to reach out and we can look at it together. And if you want to understand the next step of how to actually file a patent application, you can check out my video tutorial that will walk you through that process step by step. Until then, I'll see you on the next one.